Hey, it is Nick from Pictor. We've been getting so many questions about how to create the baseball card experience. We're just going to jump in and show you. So let's dive in. I'm going to shrink myself down because I'd rather you see the screen than me, and you probably feel the same way. So I'm going to pop down here. I do want to say that this is a pro experience. You cannot do this in the free trial or in the base account. So let's hop in. I'm going to go and create this. So go up to Events, create a new event. We're going to create an advanced event, and we'll call this baseball. Create the event. You do have the ability to change all these details here, but we don't need to. So I'm going to hop over to the flow. And to simplify this now, we can show you all these different flow stages in another video. I'm going to go ahead and remove the media screen, which we would use as a start screen. And we're just going to have the preview output. And since you can't preview an AI event, I'm also going to add a text screen at the end that just says, congrats. You're done. Baseball. Cool. We can put button text. And so for all of these fields, you can put anything you want. Here, let's do start or take another photo. So we left all these fields blank with suggested text, so you can put any languages in there you want. So I'm a frequent saver because I'm also an accidental refresher. So I'm going to go ahead and save that again. And now what we're going to do is create a survey, which is going to ask our questions. So let's create that survey. First question is, what's your name? Text. And let's put a 20 character limit on that. And then we're going to say, what's your company name? We'll also put 20 characters on that. And then we're going to say, what's your favorite number? Question mark. And this is going to be a 2-character limit, and I'll show you why. So we're going to go ahead and now save that. Now we're going to get into the fun stuff. So we built our survey, and I'm going to show you how to tokenize that in a moment. So we're going to go ahead and add a template. We don't have anything here, obviously, because we're starting scratch. So I'm going to go create template. And this is a custom sized template here. So it's going to be 3.5 inches tall by 5 inches wide. So I know this off the top of my head, but you could do the math in another place. It's going to be 1920 wide by 1344 tall. Now what I'm going to do is add some images. So I'm going to upload, and I've already I guess I will upload these for you. I'm going to upload these images from my hard drive. So we'll upload the front, and I'm going to go ahead and upload the back. So we'll start by adding the front, and I'm going to go to the position of this. It's going to be at 0, 0, and I know that half of 1920 is 960, and I know it is the full height, which is 1344. Now I'm going to go ahead and add in another image, which is the back. Once again, I know that this is going to be 960 wide, 1344 tall, and I know that the X placement is also 960 because this image is 960 wide. So now you'll note we also have these holes here. So we're going to put the name here, the company name here, and the favorite number here. We'll put our original image here and each of our AI images in either of these holes. So now I'm going to go ahead and add a capture. So we're going to take this capture. Let's go to the settings on it. We're going to want this to be 1-to-1 because we want it to fit into this circle. So I'm going to go down here and loosely place it. And while I'm here, I'm going to do something else. I'm going to add a filter to this, which is a border radius. Let's see if 100 is enough. It's not. Let's, I think, go to 200, which looks like a circle. So I'm going to hold my shift key down so I can change the size of this. And I want to get it so it's there. It doesn't need to be perfect, but we're going to go ahead now and also move this down here. So it's going to be behind those layers. So that white line is going to go over the top of it so we can go over those imperfections. Next, I'm going to click the gear again. I'm going to add another filter. In this case, I'm going to add an AI filter. We'll select a prompt. You're going to see some surprises in here. We're working on the basketball one, but we'll pop up that baseball card. And we're going to, let me move myself over here. We're going to have 2 AI outputs on this. You can do up to 4. So these are going to be square. And I'm going to do something here. So I'm going to go back to my layers. I have these 2 images. I have the back of the card and the front of the card. Just to simplify, I'm going to lock these layers so I don't accidentally move anything around. And now what I can do is I can actually take this layer. Let's go and put it back here. And you'll see it's now, I'm holding my shift down. It's behind that. So I don't have to be exact. Drop it there. We're going to do the same thing for this one. And I'm going to hold my shift key down. I'm going to do it again. And now I could add a radius to this if I wanted to. But what I'm actually going to do in this case, I'm going to move it to the back. And it's actually behind this. So you'll see if I were to go up one, it would cover it. So let's finish resizing it, and I'll just go ahead and eyeball that to the center. I want to get a little bit over here so it's on either side. And now once again, I'm just going to move it behind that capture so the capture sits in the front. I'm going to go ahead and call this baseball. And like I said before, I'm a frequent saver because I'm an often auto refresher. So I'm going to save that. And now let's go ahead and add in our tokens, right? So let's go to add text. I'm going to style this up a little bit before I do this. I want to center this text. I'll show you why in a moment. So I'm going to go to, what's a fun font? Let's do Roboto Condensed. And for all these, you can actually even upload a custom font if you wanted. So if you're using a library from like Photo Booth Talk or any of the others, you can upload their PNG and any of the fonts for that particular item as well. So let's go ahead and let's do like a nice chunky semi-bold here. And I want to make sure that this text kind of like fits across here. Let's force this to be uppercase because that's going to look nicer. And I'm going to go ahead and now center this. So once I get this styled how I want to, I can go ahead and drop a token in here. So I'm going to say, what's your name? And so this token is going to have a slightly different weight and style, but that's okay for now. Now I'm going to do the same thing over here for our company name. So I'm going to make this full width. I also want this to be uppercase. I also want this to be robo dense. Actually, I don't. I want this to be italic. So let's go extra bold italic here, and let's go ahead and center that. Let's make this one a little bit bigger. So let's say like 90. It could be black. It could be any color. I like the white on the black, and I'm going to show you something even cooler in a second. So I'm going to go ahead and now change this to what's your company name. Delete this text. Delete that extra space. Make sure there's no spaces here. And now, if you wanted to get really fancy, which I often do, I want to create problems, I'm going to duplicate this layer, right? I'm going to put it on top of itself. I'm going to change the color to black. I'm going to come back to my layers. And I'm going to give this the slightest drop shadow. So now I'm going to go back over here. We'll do this with the math, just so we can see. So let's make this at 999 and 38. And let's do the white layer, the top layer. at 999. I think we did, the other one was 999 by 37. So that's like the teeniest, but let's do it 1, 2, 7. So now we have just like a little bit of drop shadow on that, so it pops. And now we got one last one to do. Let's go ahead and make that number. And we want this to be like a nice hunkin', thick number here. So let's go back. We're going to want this. I guess uppercase doesn't really matter in this sense, but for the time being, let's make this a 00. And let's go to the text case. And let's do a real thick black. So let's go ahead and tighten this up. And you'll see this changes the width of your window. But if I tighten this up a bit here, get to the side, and if I drag the bottom corner, this is going to change the height of my numbers. So I want to make sure I'm going to go a little smaller. I want it that tight. And I'm going to go and pull this to either side. So once again, this is a 2-digit number, and we want it to be centered all the time. So now that we got that in the right place, let's go ahead and change that to our favorite number token. And this is going to look a little bit weird, but I promise you it is going to work just the way I want it to. I'm going to go ahead and save this, close it out, save this again, and now let's try it. Let's hop right in. So I'm going to hit that simulator, and I'll see you in 1 sec. So here we are on the simulator page. This simulates an iPad. Coming soon, we have iPhone, Android, different screen sizes, laptop sizes, so that you can approximate what the experience is going to look like on each of those devices. I'm going to go ahead and add my name in here. Next, my company, Pictor.pro.ai. Cool. My favorite number, we'll do 82. It's my birth year. Yes, I'm that old, hence the grays. Go to next. And let's go ahead and take that photo. So you can upload a photo, but if you're going to upload a photo, you want to make sure it's the same ratio as the capture, or it's going to get squishy later. So I'm going to go ahead and take a photo here. I'm going to choose my gender. Let's do red. And that's it. So when I click next here, we're going to get that congrats page that I made, so we know it's done. When I hit here, take another photo, it's going to go back to the top, and you can do it again. So in a moment, we're going to bounce back to the other page, and we're back here. And now let's go to the home of the event, and let's pull up sessions. So this is where you'll check to see if your sessions are done. So right now, you'll see that this is in the queue, and in a moment, we'll refresh it. So now we've refreshed it, and you'll see it's come back from the AI engine, and it's now preparing in the back end to sandwich all those things together, to crop them, cut the circle, etc. So on the next refresh, it'll probably be ready for us. Let's give it a shot. There it is. Let's hop in. And it is. Here's me as a baseball player. I'm going to move myself up here. I'm going to zoom in a bit. Well, I got lost anyways, but I wanted to show you. Here's that survey information. There's my first name, my favorite number, and my company name with that thin little black shadow too. So this is going to need a little bit of massaging. They always will. Every time that you work on will. So for example, I would go back in and move these down a little bit so it's centered height-wise here. But let's hop back over. I want to show you one last thing before we wrap this up. So now that we're back on the home page, there's a few things I wanted to show you. We have our help button here. So 24/7, you can come here and ask a question, etc. Below that, we have our feedback form. So in this form, you can do a few things. You can make a suggestion. So this is a great place to request a feature, request a custom prompt, or even put in a bug. You can do bugs through the chat or right here. And we have here a little invite to our Facebook community. I'd love for you to join us. So once again, help and features below, Facebook group over here. And yeah, we can't wait to see what you create.